Just hours after stepping into the courtroom, he finds himself in handcuffs right inside the halls of justice. Human rights activist and publisher Omoyele Sowore was dramatically arrested by armed police officers within the premises of the Federal High Court in Abuja, sparking fresh alarm over freedom of expression, the rule of law, and the rights of citizens in Nigeria. What happened and where? On Thursday, 23 October 2025, Sowore entered the Federal High Court building in Abuja and was immediately surrounded and arrested by several armed policemen. The development was confirmed by the police's public relations officer, Benjamin Hundeyin, who stated that Sowore was being held for allegedly violating a court order that prohibits protests around the Three Arms Zone, the seat of Nigeria's federal government. The arrest took place shortly after Sowore participated in a demonstration calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. Following the arrest, reports suggest he is currently in police custody and expected to be formally charged soon. Who is Omoyele Sowore and why this matters? Sowore is a well-known Nigerian journalist, activist, and politician. He founded the online news outlet Sahara Reporters, ran for the presidency in 2019 under the African Action Congress, AAC, and has long been associated with the #RevolutionNow movement, advocating for massive reform. This arrest is significant because it touches on several critical issues. Freedom of assembly. The protest at which Sowore was present sought Kanu's release. Arresting him for participation poses questions about the right to protest. Law enforcement in courts. Arresting someone inside the court premises raises concerns about the separation of powers, the sanctity of the judiciary, and due process. Political climate and dissent. With Nigeria's recent actions against separatist movements and political protesters, this incident contributes to anxieties about how dissent is treated. The legal claim and state position. According to Hundeyin and the federal government, the basis for the arrest is an alleged violation of a court order that prohibits protests around the Three Arms Zone in Abuja. Therefore, the official justification is framed as a matter of public order, not political. The authorities argued the location is a sensitive zone near national legislature, presidency, and judiciary, where protests may threaten security or disrupt governmental operations. Yet civil rights lawyers have quickly responded. Inibehi Ifeanying described the arrest as preposterous and denounced it as a mockery of the judicial process. Supporters argue that it violates fundamental rights, freedom of expression, peaceful protest, and legal protections. Thus, we have a clash of perspectives: state interest in order versus activists' claim to rights and due process. Historical and political context. Sowore's arrest is not an isolated incident, but part of a pattern worth noting. In 2019, he was arrested for treasonable charges after calling for a nationwide protest. The protest for Nnamdi Kanu's release recently saw arrests of other figures, his lawyer, brother included, at the Kuje court. The Three Arms Zone area has seen multiple directives restricting protests and large public gatherings. In this light, the arrest inside the courthouse adds gravity. It suggests the state may widen enforcement beyond just street protests. Implications and risks. For Sowore and legal rights. If charged, his case may test boundaries around how lawyers, activists, and citizens can operate in politically charged contexts. Arrest inside a court could undermine confidence in the fairness of judicial spaces and the separation between police and military. For protest and activism, the message to other activists: high visibility areas like courts or national seats may be considered higher risk zones. Might chill activism or redirect it toward less visible forms, social media campaigns, underground organizing. For Nigeria's democratic reputation, international observers will watch how dissent and protest are treated. Repeated arrests under protest law could hurt Nigeria's image. Investors, NGOs, and foreign partners note the stability of civic space as part of governance assessments. For the judiciary and rule of law, the event raises questions. Can a court order about protests be used to justify in-court arrest of a participant? Are norms of legal independence compromised? If courts become sites of enforcement rather than just adjudication, trust could erode. What to watch next? Will Sowore be charged immediately, and on what count? Example, unlawful assembly, breach of court order, incitement. Will there be a legal challenge to the in-court arrest, motion to quash, injunctive relief, human rights petition? Will the Federal High Court respond or not respond to having one of its entrants arrested inside its own precinct? Will the government use similar powers against other protesters or activists? Are we about to see wider enforcement in the Three Arms Zone? How will international actors respond to this incident in the context of Nigeria's rights record? Final thoughts. The arrest of Omoyele Sowore inside the Federal High Court in Abuja is a powerful and disconcerting moment. It pulls into focus the tension between state power, civic rights, protest culture, and judicial independence. If Nigeria's democracy is to be defined not just by elections, but by how openly citizens can protest, challenge power, and access courts, then this case will be more than a headline. It may become a litmus test. For now, the silence after the handcuffs falls heavily. We must watch what the court says, what the police show, and what the public believes. In all of these, the meaning of justice is at stake.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this update and want to stay informed with fast, reliable news, don't forget to subscribe to Newsflash 360. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. Your next headline is just seconds away.